My name's PJ Sykes, and I'm in a band called Hoax Hunters. This is the story of why we're covering the Dambuilders. When I first started college at VCU, I only knew 2 people in all of Richmond. My parents dropped me off. I didn't know where I was, didn't have a car, didn't have cell phones, nothing like that. So one of the things I did to try to meet people and try to break out of my shell and figure out what I was going to do was join the radio station. So I used to walk from my dorm down to the station pretty much any time I had, and they had a bunch of CDs that they had left over from promos and stuff that they got. I was like, oh my God, so much music, free music, like let's go. It wasn't like it is now where you can just go online. It was like, this was my internet basically. Like all the music I could handle was in this room. Found a lot of stuff that looked interesting or things that I knew about, but there was no CD. So one of the CDs I did find was the Dambuilders. I didn't know what it was, and the first song I ever heard was Smooth Control, which is the song we're covering. What's neat about it is that if you listen to our cover of Smooth Control, you can definitely hear the influence on our band. But if you listen to Shrine, it definitely sounds like a Snowy Owl song. Different songs, influence different bands. It's kind of neat that the same band could have that much of a range.
I grew up in the town of Danville, Virginia, which is super small. What was kind of interesting though about growing up at that point is there were certainly a lot of people in town that really liked this band, which is kind of weird because it's a small town. Not necessarily what you would think would be a hotbed of this like Boston band.
I think the way I ran across them was like Kenny was talking about, back in '94, just starting to get into alternative radio.
A crew of us finally got to see them 97 or 98, whenever Against the Stars came out, which is like shortly before they broke up. So like we snuck in, kind of finally got to see this band at the last minute. Around that time I was starting a new project, and we ended up naming the band Ruby Red, which was named after like a Dambuilders record.
I remember hearing Shrine, and that just being one of those songs that, looking back, it fits that period so well, but it definitely stood out. It kind of embodied a lot of things that I value in terms of, the arrangement of music.
In terms of respect of like people who reunite now and like, or people who are talked about now that seem to have a pretty like vast following. I don't know that they've necessarily gotten that credit, which is unfortunate. But, it kind of means they still kind of get to be our special like little band.
When we decided to do cover the Dambuilders, I thought it'd be neat to sort of do it in our version of it, instead of covering it exactly the same. So we asked our friend Marty, who plays in Tear Gas Rock and played with Ted Leo, and back in the day he played with Young Pioneers, if he would play, and he actually told me a story of seeing the Dambuilders open for Dinosaur Jr. like in 1991 or something like that. So it's cool, he actually seen them. I never got to see them. Ben, who usually plays bass, moved back to guitar. We did 2 guitars and bass, drums live in the room. We added some backup vocals with our friend Anna Shea, Grammy nominated actually, so it's funny that me shouting my version of it with a Grammy nominated backup singer. We chose to work with Alan again. I've known him for a long time. He's been working at this studio called Scott's Edition Sound, which it's been a studio for a long time. It was Montana Studios, it was Black Iris for a while. So it's got a lot of history in the room. Like when you hear the song, all the guitars and bass and drums are performed at the same time, the vocals afterwards. So that's really, that space and working with Alan allowed us to do that.
Feel it, I don't wanna be told there's nothing to hold us, no place to go. Tears in your